Alright, testing. I'm here. I'm back again. I know. You're shocked. Confused even. You may notice there's no music in the background. That's because I turned it off. I'm gonna be honest with you here. I don't like really pay attention to the Mecharashi music. I mean, it's got some good tracks in the background. I ain't gonna say it's all bad. But like, I usually listen to something else in the background. So, will I put that in the background? I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on copyright. I don't particularly know how it works or like how it goes with the music. I see the bigger YouTubers having music in their background, but like, I figured it's because like there are larger YouTubers, they can kind of get away with it. But like, what am I gonna do if like YouTube wants to determine that like I can't play that music in my background anymore? What am I supposed to do? Just say yeah, sure, whatever. I don't know. I might try to put some music in the background. What? I don't know. You'll be surprised, just like I'll be surprised whenever I pick something to put in the background. You may notice the volume is much better. OBS had an update last time, and I didn't notice until after I recorded the video. And then I didn't feel like re-recording it. So out it went with the scuffed audio and all. Hopefully I sound better this video. And you may ask, what caused such a need to point out the audio differences? Well, it's because I found out that one of my Lancer players does in fact watch my videos. Now listen, I ain't got a problem with him doing that. He can even watch it with sound. However, as per what I said last episode, even if it was a little bit covered up by the game in the background, all right. As I said last episode, I will feel very betrayed if he decides to exploit that fact to gain an unfair advantage on the point system, all right? So, if he does, that's on him, all right? We can't control everyone, so, but that's on him. If he does that, that's on him. That's on him. But anyway, got a pretty standard battle here. It's got some rain effects. I'm gonna be honest with you here. I was doing like tests with the sound to see how loud they would be, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm looking at the OBS right now and they're not boosted at all. They were boosted last episode, but this episode, no boosting on like their sound or anything. My voice, meanwhile, it is boosted like crazy. So if they're still loud, it's just because they're loud, all right? I'm not saying I've done everything I can do. Of course, I can always just cut them in the background, but kind of don't want to do that. I feel like hearing the pilot's skill effects and skill sounds is like kind of the whole fun of it. So I don't want to just take them out completely. So
I have my plan.
They will be here to stay, at least at the current volume level. I hope it's not too loud. If it is, I guess you can let me know. I'd adjust it if I got requested. But I think it's fine now. I don't know. I guess I'll hear it in the post editing. But for right now, it sounded good in just the recording. But like I said, whenever I go to edit the video, I'll find out whether or not it is fine or not. It's so sad he goes for the punch and he gets taken out. One turn is all he got. One turn. By the way, this is the 8-1. I don't know if you saw it. I kind of menued fast, so if you didn't see it, this is 8-1 through 5. All right, they're still not at level 60. They're getting there. They're getting there. I didn't realize how big of a level difference being level like 60 was compared to like level 50, and being level 70 is compared to being level what is it?
Let's begin.
Level 60. Because I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm crazy far ahead of them now that I'm like level 70. I love that skill. I know it's new, at least on the Western servers it's new, but it's gotta be like one of my favorite skills. I love that little thing.
I have my plan. Reflect on your actions.
But anyway, I know I kind of cut myself off last episode, right? When I was talking about good old. Just hit the frame. Okay, thank you. I know I cut myself off last episode when I was talking about the pilots. So let's get into it. Knowing that the guy who plays Zane is watching these videos, he'll go last, alright? He'll be last. Instead, we're going to talk about, out of alphabetical order, we're going to talk about Zeta next. So what's up with Zeta? So, Zeta is like this small-time farm girl who, is new to the whole, like, galactic scene and whatever. Just a small town girl. Anyway, living in this broken world. Anyway, that's beside the point. That's beside the point. Even though he is a small time girl living in this broken world, he has big dreams because his character he described to me has only ever seen shonen like Power Rangers and like anime types. So what does he want his character to be doing? That's right, trying to become like a Power Ranger, like a shonen protagonist. And I loved this idea. I thought this was great. I was like, absolutely, I will try to write your shonen fantasy into this story here. Why would he go for her? I guess two's guaranteed that. But he said he wanted a few extra things on top of being the whole shonen bit.
Time to wake up.
One of those things was he wanted to have is the ability. He wanted his small time farm cowgirl character to have like a main villain of a corporation. Now that's not too hard. He didn't want it to be any like normal corporations, like ISPN, SSC, or Harrison Armory. No. He had a different vision for a corporation. He wanted like an corporation that like buying up a bunch of farmland to be his main villain. And I said, yeah, sure. It probably wouldn't be too hard to come up with a agricultural supervillain who's like buying up all the farmland and it's gonna put everyone out of business. That's
so naive.
I feel like that's a pretty reasonable thing to have actually happen in this sort of future. So you know what? I signed off on it. Now he wants some surprises, but he did tell me, "Wow, that was a crit. That's crazy. She crit for 5K. That was crazy." So he did tell me that he wanted the corporation to have like an evil underside. And what would that evil underside be? That's right. They're aliens. And what is it? And they're here to get like revenge, because like in Power Rangers, right? There's like the alien forces that are always trying to like take out humanity, and the Power Rangers show up, and then they do like the combining into like a big Zord to win the day and beat the big bad who suddenly turned into like a giant, right? All right. Now he did request to have a big Zord to have everyone turn into, and I originally vetoed it because I said no. And the main reason I vetoed it wasn't necessarily because I was thinking too much about like how all the other players would interact with it, as if I don't vaguely know my friend group, and that they also would love to have a big Zord combination attack. But what I also was considering was like, well, what about the choice decisions they make when they make their character? Do they want to like forfeit all of that to do the big Zord? And I thought about it, and I was like, oh, you know, I got a couple ideas that could work. So once again, Zane, if you are watching this video and you don't want to get spoiled on a potential future mechanic, all right?
I have my plan.
He explained this to me. He said that it goes in one ear, out the other ear. He won't remember by the time it comes up. All right.
Follow the rules.
That's all I'm going to say, Zane. All I'm going to say is all right. Right? You could just be watching the mech battles in the background on this video. But if you remember anything that happens, do not tell the rest of the group. If Zane, Zeta, Mary, Mark, and then Khalid, if any of y'all are watching these videos and you hear something, because I'm just yapping about it into the void because I need to talk to someone about these ideas. They're driving me insane being stuck in my head.
Punch first.
And so I'm using these videos to yap out my thoughts so that you guys cannot hear. But if any of y'all get spoiled on this, all right, you have plenty of warning to just mute the video and just watch the cool mechs in the background, all right? That you've had plenty of warning, you've had plenty of chances, all right? This is on you. Okay, so anyway, the big Zord idea, which I was originally vetoing, but I've instead come up with a way for it to work. Okay, so anyway, the general idea I had was their mechs would all combine into, you know, the one mech, and then they would, you know, get to do whatever it is that the big Zord would do. But the gimmick would be it would only last for that turn that they form the Zord. I'll say it's like unstable or something, and so they can't keep it up forever. But in that turn, the Zord is like
You're not good.
immune, or like I'll pull all the damage together the Zord takes and then divide it amongst the players evenly. Or because they were like a combined entity, if one of them was playing a tank and he says, I want to take the lion's share of the damage, then I can give him like 50% of the damage and then like split the remaining damage, you know, between the rest of the players. That way they, you know, it's a little bit more of like a, you know, you can kind of choose who's gonna eat the most damage. I feel like that would be an interesting thing. Or they're just immune to damage. I think I'm gonna go with the tanking idea, like the splitting it, because I think a few of them said they wanted to go tank builds, so that would work out. That would work out for me to have them have that happen. So
reflect on your actions.
sorry. So they would tank for that one turn. And that one turn would also have all of like their weapon systems and everything would be on that Zord. So like everyone could do anything on that Zord. It would have like all their speed combined into like one. It would have all their weapons and systems. It would have all their HPs pulled together, and then like at the end of the turn, the Zord would of course, you know, like unform itself, because, you know, it's how these things work. It would deform, and then that's when they would split the damage. I think that could work. It's hard to like tell them this without spoiling the idea, because I don't want them to like, you know what's gonna happen, because I feel like that's gonna ruin the surprise. But at the same time, it's a hard idea to I guess maybe get going. I don't know. But yeah, I do have plans for the big Zord. Hopefully the players will enjoy it. I hope they do. But yeah, so small time girl who only watch Power Rangers and Shonen wants to be a big hero, yada yada yada. Big AgriCorp is gonna ruin her small time farm, and it's up to her and her friends that she's now made by being a pilot to save the day and, you know, do stop the big Agri Corporation for ruining everything and like ending humanity or something. I don't know. I don't know what the big agri corporation's
Reflect on
doing
your
at the moment,
actions.
other than just being like a big corporate entity that buys up a bunch of small farms. I don't know what they're all else they're doing behind the doors yet. I have some ideas. But
Someday,
overall, I don't particularly know what they're going to be doing beyond that. I'll figure it out, though. I figured out this much. I can figure out a little bit more, I think. So, yeah, that's good. She can go there. He goes here. Hong goes here. Yeah, okay, alright. Put you there. But yeah, I figured out this much. I'm sure I can figure out a little bit more. And finally, we get to Zane, and I will say, you know, Zane, you better watch yourself, right? This is your lore development, all right?
reflect on your
This
actions.
is your lore development, all right? If you get spoiled on the little things I've got running in the background for your character, once again, just want to remind you, right? It's on you, all right? Just remember that. Just remember that. All right. So to do this, I will have to tab out of the game. So I will do it when there's no sound playing. Okay, there we go. We'll just tab out now. And I have to go pull up the faction list because I don't remember all of the stuff off the top of my head. I'm surprised I remember this much. No, I'm not. I'm not surprised at all, actually. I say that, but I'm not actually surprised. Alright. I've got the stuff open. I can now do it. So, Zane's faction, or lack thereof. Zane has a big brother, and his big brother is named, hold on, Kuga. How did the name come around? I don't know. You'd have to ask Zane. I don't ask him.
Piece of cake.
Just don't bother, alright? I want him to lore develop it out in peace. But I am curious. So, anyway, his brother named Kuga is a hot shot, does everything right. Everyone loves him. You know, the typical, like, older brother
Time to wake up.
or younger brother who is, like, so much better than the other sibling, and everyone loves them, and it's like, oh my goodness. Yeah, you know that plot thread.
So naive.
Right,
So
well,
naive.
of course, Zane, the underloved brother, has set out into the wilderness. But what is Kuga doing? So, Kuga he said he wants to essentially show up Kuga at some point. Okay, how am I going to do that? I said to myself, considering he's supposed to be this great guy. Well, not great, but he's supposed to be this legendary pilot figure. How am I going to do that? So, I asked him, like, okay, well, I was making an arena. Yes, I'm making
Reflect on your
some
actions.
vague side things, like an arena. Arena to me is not that big of a deal. It's just like, you know how like when you play Dungeons and Dragons or you play any tabletop game and you fight you fight alongside friendly characters who like have these crazy abilities, and you always kind of wonder to yourself, hey, what happens if we fought them, right? Like, how would we do against them? But of course, like, you know, they're on your side, and unless you want to completely derail the plot, you're not just gonna say, and then I attack my ally and cause them to be angry with me and start attacking me. Like, you're not gonna do that.
Bring on the next one.
Your entire party will look at you weirdly.
All for the epic
You'll probably look at yourself weirdly. The DM will look at you weirdly. It doesn't make any sense. The arena is my idea to essentially have a way for you to fight these NPC characters you just usually wouldn't fight, right? So like in this arena, they could run into enemies like actual enemies, or they could run into friendlies who are also in the arena, who also just want to like just do a fight, right? And this would be a way they can do a fight without having it be like, I don't know, like without having to get it too lore heavy, I guess, into why they're fighting, right? Everyone's here at the arena for like a good time, but it's like underground and not regulated. I'll make a regulated mech fights as well, but like the ones they're going to be going to at first are going to be this underground arena. So I ask him, hey, do you mind if I tie some of your backstory into the arena? I know this was a long tangent just to get to is talking about this guy, but I asked him, hey, would you mind if I tied some of your backstory to the arena? And he said, no, that's fine. And so I'm making like Kuga like on the side of being this amazing great pilot. He's also like champion of this arena, and in this arena, like his word is like law or whatever. He's at the top of the chain, and while he isn't just like the arena guy, like he has other things he's going to be doing as well. I'm gonna be honest, maybe I just drop Eileen and bring my healer, because I kind of need heals.
Me and Pot's here, all geared up.
Yeah, I kind of need heals. To take down one of those things.
That's not for fixing.
You're gonna go clean up. I know I got a little bit off topic. It's a little sidetrack. I just saw the big walker in front of me, and knew I needed to change tactics to bring a healer instead of more DPS. But yeah, anyway, so Kuga is at like the top of this arena. Kuga is also like a criminal mastermind, is what I'm lore writing him in as. Like he is big evil criminal guy. He's got a bunch of criminal operations going on, but he's not alone. Okay, he has a bunch of, well, I say bunch, but just like how he Zane now has a team of friendly lancers with 4 team members, I am giving Kuga his own team of lancers, who are going to be the like opposition to him, essentially like rivals to the main party. But they're already ahead. They've already started and got some. So the party's essentially going to have to play catch up for a bit to get up to his level.
It's showtime.
Well, I'm gonna have it where even outside the arena, they can run into this man's like evil enterprises of what he's where he's got like all this other stuff like cooking up, and he's being evil or whatever, or he's endorsing something. The player told me to make him a sociopath. I think he meant psychopath. Maybe he did mean sociopath. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I know he wants him to be one of those, so I know what I have to play into. Like this, he's a like evil bad guy. I know what I have to play into. Okay? I know what I'm playing into, right? And all the villains, all of his team members are also like snooty rich kids from famous SSC families that are not real and core Lancer, but made up for this this campaign. And in their snootiness and whatever, they all also have their own little gangs that run around, but they all answer to Kuga at the end of the day. And so I don't know what I'm gonna have Kuga do. Probably have him like go completely balls to the walls crazy. I made him a pilot cheat at license level 2.
All for the epic pilot.
And I'm gonna make the other leaders as well. Oh, I forgot to mention, each of the his team members and himself included have a retainer. So this one I stole from Fire Emblem Fates, where every lord has 2 retainers who help make up your party. I'm sure some have more. I just remember there distinctly being like 2 for each one. So yeah, he's gonna get each of them got 2, and these retainers are essentially gonna be like the mini bosses or the bosses that you have to deal with in the thing. And then once they beat all the retainers and they come back to report what's happening, that's when they're gonna get the confrontation against the big man himself, Kuga, except not really, because that would be like really early. Actually, I'm planning. So like this is planned to be like. Sorry, you're hearing my pencils. I'm starting to attempt to learn how to draw.
Let's kick this off.
But to some extent, I'm trying to have this be like 5 chapters, including a prologue. So like technically 6 chapters worth of story. And to have them do like all this stuff in chapter 1 would be a little bit much. And probably wouldn't feel too good. It'd probably feel pretty rushed to try and fit everything in here. So I have plans for these things to last like multiple chapters, you know, of the story. You know, in theory, they shouldn't finish any of these until maybe chapter 3 or 4 is when they should start finishing these things up, and then they do chapter 4, finish chapter 4 or 5, and yeah, they'd be good. They'd be good to go. I guess I could talk about my custom NPCs that I'm gonna have them interacting with. They have only met Lionheart, who none of them asked his real name. Now, to be fair, when they first met him and he didn't say it, that was understandable. He didn't know them, and they didn't know him. So why would he tell them his real name? I'm missing something about this fight. But what I do know, what does this say? Oh my goodness, so that's what's happening. When taking damage from any attack except for melee weapons, damage taken -6. Okay, so no, he's supposed to hit him with melee attacks. I see.
You've done well enough.
Annoying.
Broken parts. We're on it like oil on metal.
But yeah, they're supposed to do that. So I guess now I can talk about while we grind through this man's entire health bar. Please don't tell me she only hit. She did, didn't she?
Punch first.
Wow. Crazy damage.
On the house.
When we break through this thing, we're gonna have to like blitz this man's health bar, man. Where's man going? I guess I'll talk about some of my things. So I don't think, yeah. So Cliff, his name's Cliff. His name is based off of a character, but other than that, personality-wise, he is like completely different guy. If this doesn't like stagger him out of this, ooh, because War Trample stuns. Ugh. And I can't hit him unless she was over there. Then she could hit him. Oh my goodness.
Piece of cake.
Might lose this because I did not bring
Time
enough
to wake up.
front-loaded damage. Okay. Well, if it happens, it happens, I guess.
No battle, no hustle. Time to get those hands dirty, broken parts. We're on it.
So, sorry, I know I'm stopping and starting in the middle. It's just I'm trying to not lose this boss fight. He's so eager to get back in. Which I know. So, other than that, Cliff's mysterious pilots and Atlas shows up, bails them out from a villain I had them fighting at the start. Is the villain that big of a threat? Like, not real. Well, okay, he is. He's an ultra berserker, so he is that big of a threat. But he's also kind of like not too big of a threat.
Broken parts.
I mean, like,
We're
yeah,
Bring on the next one.
they're inexperienced, and so am I. So he is a threat in that regard.
Boosting up.
He didn't do it. He didn't do what I needed. Also, I just realized that I have to get through 57,000 HP. That's a bonkers number to get through. I don't think I'm making it. Man, we gotta start going crazy on damage here. But Cliff was kind of, well, Cliff or Lionheart was kind of like rude to them at the start, but like he's kind of warming up to them, mainly because they did a good job. He had like no expectations of them doing as well as they did on the first prologue tutorial mission where they couldn't die. I told them they couldn't die. They know this as a fact. But in that regard, I was not expecting him to do as well, so I made him kind of like impressed. Like he's a little bit like, yeah, okay, all right, maybe you guys are actually like, you know.
Let's begin.
You know, maybe you guys are something instead of, you know,
useless resistance.
Just fodder or whatever. I just don't think it's gonna happen. Do you like? I would need crazy amounts of damage to get through this.
Punch first.
Like that did 1K, man.
You've done well enough.
I'm trying to think, who would be good for this? It says melee.
Boost incoming.
I'm sure I'm missing someone who would solve this in like 2 seconds. But like half of it is like, and even to hit the head.
You've done well enough.
I know, once again, I stopped talking about Lancer because I'm just staring in like bafflement at this boss. Yeah, see, this is what War Trample does. If you get hit by War Trample, it turns off your mech for a turn.
All for the Epiphyllum. Let's kick this off.
And the win condition is defeat all enemies. Yeah, I'm missing something here, man. Well, I mean, other than the fact that he's apparently got melee defense. So I should have brought nothing but... You know, they got a decent amount of the damage done, but like, yeah, no, that was just... I mean, maybe... Okay, so my new plan here is actually to just ignore the guys on the side and just to go all in on hitting him the entire time. Also, hold on. Is that damage this turn? Type during the enemy turn. If the enemy weapon type differs from the last type used to hit this unit, this attack's damage taken is minus 60%. Okay, so what I'm actually hearing... Hold on. We gotta restart. Yeah, we gotta restart. What I'm actually hearing is that what I should be bringing out is
It will be over soon.
this setup. 2 fists, 2 spears. Well, okay, he's not a spear. Okay, one story is, this is the setup now, alright?
Nah, that's not for fixing.
Bring on the next one.
Because they both use the same weapon.
All for the epiphyllum.
Okay, anyway, back to Lancer. Cliff has like 2 brothers, and well, he's 1 brother and 2 sisters. Also, just want to put it out there, I have no siblings, so guy with no siblings will be writing siblings. You know how that goes. Oh my goodness. Alright, anyway.
I won't hold back.
Yeah.
Eliminating the enemy. I won't hold back. Eliminating the enemy.
Man, when she gets to do that against like a target that doesn't eat half the hits, be crazy. So yeah, he has 2 sisters and a brother, and they're all adopted. None of them are blood related. His older brother is the actual heir to like the family or whatever that they're now a part of. What's the family name? I wrote it down one time, and you want to know it's something? Don't remember it. Don't remember it. So tune in for another video where I remember the family name in that video. But yeah, they used to live on like a poor mining planet out in the Karkanet Trade Baronies, and Kenta, who is the oldest brother, is the like bastard son of the falling noble house that they are now a part of. Right, essentially the last male heir who got dumped off because he was an affair baby, and now that they don't have a single heir, they need the affair baby to come back. So that's Kenta's whole thing. He's just here because they had an affair and they needed a blood related male to take the throne, and so that was Kenta's job. Kenta's job is that he is the blood related male heir, and he did, because you know of who he lived with while he was in the work mining camp like everyone else. He raised up
I won't hold back.
Cliff, Eileen, and Moon. Just who he raised up out of the poverty with him, because they were essentially his family while he was stuck, doing the mining thing. That was his family. So he raised them up, and no one could argue against him because, well, he's kind of in charge now. It'd be really hard to argue against him. But yeah, so since he's now in charge and he's doing everything, that means that he gets to make the rules. And his rules were that he adopted them with him into the family and raised them out of poverty. Bro, stop trying to kill my drone. So they're kind of got the whole like sibling dynamic who are now way in over their heads. Eileen is the one who is in charge of most of the like economic affairs of their new dominion. She used to, not be, of course, but she is now. And if we're talking like, you know how like they say like the real boss is the one who does all the paperwork? Okay, that's what she does. She does all the paperwork. But Kenta's still the boss, but she does all the paperwork, alright? Cliff, or Lionheart, he's essentially the spy master. He's the spy master for the 14th Union. That's why he's the one who is on this planet and is the one who even bothered to contact them regarding what was going on. Or gathered the Lancers to not be killed by the governor after they had succeeded in their mission. So, he kind of had an important job in making sure the party wasn't dead. Before the game started. And finally, we have Moon. Moon is this child who has this extraordinary gift of like sight, or being able to see things that she really should not be able to see. She is like sort of horse infected. I don't know. That's the best way I can kind of phrase it. She's horse infected.
I won't hold back.
Oh my goodness! Please hit the body. Like you saw that. She saw her swing straight into the head, man. I tell you the truth, man. They be making me angry. What's going on? Team!
No battle, no hustle. Time to get them.
Alright, next one to try it.
Cake.
So, her gift of foresight comes from Horse. She's got these special eyes, which I'm canonizing her as having, which let her see much more than she should. And you may ask yourself, how is she seeing much more than she should? And this is where I reveal the big secret. All right. So once again, if any other players are watching this and they do not want the spoiler of this, so in her eyes, I am making it so that her eyes have, her pupils are weird. So each of her pupils is essentially seems to just be a dot with other dots going around it. Okay, now if you figured out potentially what I'm going to do, don't say it yet. Right? Just hold it in.
Eliminating the enemy.
All right. Okay, so what's actually happening is she can kind of see the planet from the moon. And when she does this, she of course gets massive headaches. And so she was known as a problem child because she just kept having massive headaches. And she couldn't do any of like the hard labor that was in the camp. So everyone just thought that she was, you know, just a burden to have on you. And no one really wanted to take care of her.
Got it.
Well, you know, I've had my characters do the thing where they were like, yes, we will take care of this random child who seems to not really be too useful to us, but you know, just a good Samaritan thing. And then the payoff is, you know, oh wait, she's actually like one of the most useful people in the entire galaxy, and it's kind of crazy. He didn't. Yes.
Who's next?
Oh my goodness.
Eliminating the enemy.
Okay, we box him in here so he can't leave, and then we just wail on him.
Punch first.
She just ah! All right, okay, it's okay. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. Might have to wrap this one up. This one might be a wrap up. I might not be able to do this.
Broken parts.
I might not have the DPS or the right characters. I probably just don't have the right characters. I probably have the DPS. Probably just don't have the right characters.
Piece of cake! You're about to witness my iron will!
How about some extra service on the house?
I won't hold back.
Okay, good. Let's draw a second part. I would love to see.
Punch first.
So yeah, anyway, in the 14th Union, they're looking to, you know, make the galaxy a better place. How are they going to do that? They have plans. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. They have plans on how to make the galaxy a better place for everyone. I will not reveal those plans in case none of them heeded any of my warnings, and they've all just been like clamoring in to listen in to what's gonna happen the next time we play. Yeah, I don't think I can do this one, or at least I need to hit the grindstone to get this one done, and I don't want this video to like balloon into like a hour-long expenditure of me desperately hitting my head against the wall against this boss. So he will remain undefeated for now. I'm sure like if I broke all his parts at one time, he would like fall over. Yeah, because like this did about the same amount of damage. I have one other idea, but that'll be for another video. Yeah, I'll save my other idea for another video.
Time to get those hands dirty.
But yeah, no, this is a loss. I can't do this one. So this is actually going to be 8.1 through 8.4 with the hard stop at 8.5. All right. But yeah, I guess I'll talk in that longer video where I do my theories, trying to figure out how to beat that boss with my current team and not too much thinking. I will be attempting to. I will explain out how the 14th Union actually is going to achieve its goals. In the meantime, you guys are going to watch me finish up my dailies, and then that'll be it. So, you know, by the way, if you play Mecharashi, make sure you stay on for like 10 to 15 minutes after you claim your first set of dailies on this intel thing, because the requirements are 500 info disk a day, and you can only get 500 by claiming twice. All right. So make sure you stay on for at least like 15 minutes. But yeah, anyway, wrapping this one up. Thanks for watching, and see you around.